After quitting ultra-processed food at the start of 2024, I've not looked back, with big changes for my health, including losing a stone in weight. Since then, I've not struggled to go without any particular food, but there is one I have missed: chocolate. Most mass-produced chocolate you'll find in the supermarket is the very definition of UPF. It's highly altered and typically contains a lot of added salt, sugar, fat and industrial chemical additives. This is the list of ingredients that goes into a Cadbury Dairy Milk, for example: sugar, cocoa butter, cocoa mass, vegetable fats, palm, shea, emulsifiers, E442, E476, flavorings. Dark chocolate is different. In some cases, this difference is minimal and a dark chocolate bar can still contain a similarly long list of ingredients and very obviously be ultra-processed, reports Wales Online. But other dark chocolate will have a much smaller list of ingredients. The simplest way of identifying a chocolate bar with fewer ingredients is by the percentage of cocoa it contains. The higher the percentage, the more of the bar is cocoa, a natural product, and the less is added sugar and other ingredients. 75% is not a bad starting point. At least you know there's more cocoa than anything else. But that does, of course, leave 25% for other ingredients. Chocolate is good for you, yes, really. According to Zoe, the Science and Nutrition Program, moderate amounts of minimally processed, high-quality dark chocolate may also be good for your health. Cocoa powder is high in polyphenols, a micronutrient found in many plant-based foods for which there is evidence that they help guard against chronic health conditions. They are antioxidants and anti-inflammatory. But to get these benefits from chocolate bars, you need a high cocoa content. Zoe says look for good quality dark chocolate with 70% or greater cocoa content for the highest levels of polyphenols. The higher the cocoa percentage, the lower the amount of added sugar. What is the difference between dark chocolate and milk chocolate? Most if not all of the milk chocolate you typically find available to buy in the shops is ultra-processed and contains lots of added sugar, which is often the #1 ingredient in a milk chocolate bar, ahead of the actual cocoa, as well as industrial chemical additives. A dark chocolate bar with a high cocoa percentage will have fewer ingredients, though not always. Check the packet to be sure. For example, the Lindt Excellence Dark 99% Cocoa Bar has 4 ingredients: cocoa mass, fat-reduced cocoa, cocoa butter, demerara sugar. The cocoa element makes up 99% of the bar, the sugar the other 1%. How nice is 99% dark chocolate? I chose the Lindt Excellence Dark 99% Cocoa Bar to break my 8-month chocolate fast. Before eating, I ran its barcode through my Zoe app. Interestingly, it actually classified it as ultra-processed. However, I took that to mean the industrial processes the cocoa has been through in turning it into a chocolate bar, as opposed to the addition of lots of industrial chemicals, and decided on balance that this meant it was okay to eat. I had read online about what to expect. Cocoa in its natural state is, of course, much more bitter than milk chocolate, and what I read made me worried it would taste horrible. I can comfortably say I hate the stuff, wrote one person in The Guardian. On Reddit, someone wrote, I bought a bar of 99% cocoa chocolate to give my kids a taste. They were horrified that I would feed them something that tastes like that. But I also read that you should let a small square melt on your tongue slowly and that the flavors worked even better with coffee. The Lindt 99% bar weighs 50 grams and is made up of 21 squares, that's 2.4 grams a square. I broke one off and placed it on my tongue, then let it melt. I loved it. It took a little while to kick in, then it exploded with flavor. Yes, there was bitterness, but then the natural creaminess and chocolatey mouthfeel came through strongly. And it tasted really strongly of chocolate. Yes, I know that sounds stupid. I then tried a square with a little sip of coffee to see if that really did boost the flavor, and it absolutely did. The aftertaste lasted a long while too, mellowing pleasantly with time. You can't just endlessly gorge on dark chocolate, but I'm really glad I took the plunge and took this route back to chocolate. A little 2 grams square on my tongue rounds off a meal perfectly.